Chapter 81, Thunderous Force, One-Hit Kill. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hint, all members of the 20 evolutionary towers are present. Hint, winning condition, any party that first kills the golden giant ape in the center of the island will be considered successful. Hint, killing ordinary monsters on the island can be counted as 1 point, and the party that gets a total of 1,000 points can also be considered the winner. Hint, killing the golden giant ape can get a B-level treasure chest. Hint, it takes about 10 hours to approach the center from the outer edge of the island. Hint, if you kill more than 5 people during the novice period, you will be negatively affected by the way of heaven, which may cause mutations on the island. Hint, the golden giant ape is very powerful, it is best to gather more than 100 people for siege. Hint, technological weapons can only cause damage to members of the evolutionary towers, and cannot harm any monsters on the island. Hint, technological weapons of mass destruction cannot be used. Joint Combat Plan. Start, open the scoreboard. The sky seemed to have turned into 2 colors, red and blue, and numbers appeared at the same time. The blue side represented the Foreign Fruit Coalition, and the red side represented the rabbits of the Chinese family. Instantly everyone can act, the whole island is very big, and Zhang Chen is not sure where he is. The skateboard soared into the sky and passed over the tall tree trunks and canopies, and Zhang Chen came to the air. This is a special operation. We can't communicate. It's pure luck that we met. Killing is also limited. The changes on the island may not be that simple. Let's just solve this battle quickly. Standing high and seeing far, Zhang Chen is not restricted by the terrain when moving. It takes 10 hours for everyone to move, but only 10 minutes for himself. He can rush to the center of the island in the shortest time. Originally, before the mission rules were released, Zhang Chen planned to slowly grind to death all the foreigners in the 10 evolutionary towers. He even wanted to let the 2 sides go to war, completely sacrificing the interests and members of the other 19 evolutionary towers, and finally leaving only the idea of evolutionary tower number 999 to eat chicken alone. As a result, this rule seems to be aimed at himself. It is impossible to use large-scale technological weapons of mass destruction. Technological weapons are only effective against members of the evolutionary tower. It is completely a rule set for himself. Because of this rule, Zhang Chen became very irritable and unhappy, so he decided to kill the golden giant ape directly to complete the victory conditions in an instant, take the basic reward and leave. Tiandao wants to play, let's see who can beat whom. Does it take 100 people to deal with the golden giant ape? I can do it alone. Zhang Chen drove the skateboard under his feet quickly to the center of the island. At the same time, at different locations on the island, Sergei frowned and said, I have completely lost contact with my subordinates. What should I do? Wait and see. Or go directly to the center of the island? Let's start with hunting ordinary monsters. 10 evolutionary towers, nearly 10,000 people, 1,000 points is also easy to achieve. Brahmananda clasped his hands together and said, disperse with the group of untouchables, and let them explore the way first. Oh, then let's slowly hunt those ordinary monsters. Morris recited the Bible in his mouth and said, don't worry, there is no time limit. While gathering believers, set off towards the center of the island. Sanada Nobuo had 2 knives on his waist, and he was wearing blood-red armor all over his body. He killed a monster calmly and then said, the warriors of my empire are brave and will definitely be the first to arrive at the battlefield and kill the golden giant ape. People in each evolutionary tower have their own little tricks, and some people refuse to leave. Anyway, there is no time limit, and the specific moving time is even informed. It is enough to reach the center of the island in about 10 hours. Some people plan to wait until the golden giant ape is injured before picking up the leak. There are also evolutionary spire that are unwilling to deal with the golden giant ape because of 1,000 points. After all, the heaven has already prompted, and it is considered a success to get 1,000 points first. It takes 10 hours to rush to the golden giant ape, and it is difficult to hunt without 100 people. It is better to earn 1,000 points reward in the periphery. Countries are not united, and all the people in the 10 evolutionary spire belonging to the Zhonghua family have only one belief in their hearts, that is, to rush to the center of the island as soon as possible to kill the golden giant ape, one step faster and one more chance of winning. We must find the golden giant ape within 10 hours. We can't let other foreigners pick up the leak. Kill all foreigners on the road. It doesn't matter who kills it, as long as the Zhonghua family kills the golden giant ape. Don't entangle with ordinary monsters, drive to the center of the island at full speed to kill the golden giant ape, this is the determination of the Zhonghua family. Half an hour later, countless jungles seemed to be vacated in the middle, and Zhang Chen also heard a terrible roar in the air. At this time, the foreign coalition had already gained more than 50 points, while the Chinese family only had a dozen points. I didn't expect to win so easily this time. These sick men of East Asia are just shouting loudly, but they can't really beat us when it comes to killing monsters. Sure enough, the white-skinned people are the strongest, the rabbits of the Chinese family lowered their heads and moved forward quickly without looking at the scoreboard in front of them. Once everyone reached the golden giant ape, one move would determine the outcome. I've got your head, the golden giant ape was about 8 meters tall, with golden hair all over its body and muscles all over its body, like a muscle monster, its eyes were red and its roar was deafening. Golden giant ape, a fourth-order lower-level monster, with great power enough to crush mountains. Talent, indestructible. Golden giant ape has almost no weaknesses, and its most vulnerable part is its neck, its figure appeared in Zhang Chen's eyes, and Zhang Chen instantly put away his skateboard. He aimed at the neck of the golden giant ape from the air with the red flame blade like a flying bird. The red flame blade was burning with flames, and Zhang Chen fell down like a meteor with a long rainbow light. The golden giant ape looked up at Zhang Chen as if he also felt the threat. Red Lotus, Zhang Chen, who had unlocked the gene lock, drew all the true energy in the mithril ring and injected it into the long sword. In an instant, the flame light surged 3 times, and a huge fire meteor fell with a bang. The golden giant ape raised his arms and wanted to knock Zhang Chen down, but after unlocking the gene lock, Zhang Chen relied on the strong core strength of his body to move his body in the air. The muscles of the body swelled faintly. The flame on the blade turned sharply with Zhang Chen's golden giant ape's arm, leaving a trace of burning flames on its arm, then it slashed across its neck. In an instant, the flame of the red lotus exploded on the head of the golden giant ape, starting from the neck, and the flames wrapped and burned its head. The red flames jumped and burned, and the terrible and painful roar of the golden giant ape spread throughout the island, startling countless birds. And Zhang Chen gracefully rotated and stood firmly on the ground. So scary. Is this the cry of the golden giant ape? Everyone swallowed their saliva, and the roar alone scared everyone, but only the rabbits of the Zhonghua family were determined, no matter how strong it was, they would kill it. Chapter 82 Hard to Accept Infinite City. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This golden giant ape is so powerful, just shouting is so terrifying. We are sure to win. We have killed more than 70 people now, and the rabbits have just exceeded 10. We are sure to win, our thoughts are really the same. Brahmananda and others laughed, but the next second their smiles all froze on their faces, opened their mouths in disbelief. Zhang Chen of Evolution Spire number 999 killed the golden giant ape and won the joint operation. Congratulations to Zhang Chen for getting a B-level treasure chest. Get 1000 experience points. Get 500 bonus points. Get a D-level bonus authority. Zhang Chen put away his knife coldly, his body trembling slightly. The golden giant ape fell to the ground, all burnt. The flames immediately spread all over its body. The heavenly Tao prompt also appeared on Zhang Chen's side. What the hell? Kill him. So fast. How long has it been? Half an hour. What did Master Zhang Chen do? Anyway, it seems we have one. Prompt, led by Evolution Spire number 1000, Evolution Spire number 999, number 399, number 777, number 998, number 997, number 996, number 995, number 900, number 888 win. Prompt: everyone will be rewarded with an average distribution of 1 million experience points and 50% of the enemy's attribute value. Prompt: the battle is over. After 30 seconds, the light column will lock and transfer and return to each other's plane. Dingyu sighed. I didn't have time to get to know Zhang Chen, and I went back like this. He is really an amazing man. Zhang Chen. I must meet him if I have a chance to see how strong he is. A swordsman put away his sword and sneered as he stood in the teleportation array. Zhang Chen. I wonder if it's the Zhang Chen we are talking about. He doesn't seem to have any special skills. Maybe we'll know when we move into the main plane. The members of the Zhonghua family were all satisfied and smiled at each other as they entered the light column. On the other side, there were wailing everywhere. The black light column enveloped them for a long time. The Brahmin Ananda said angrily, "Damn Zhang Chen, I must cut him into pieces in the future." Sanada Nobuo sighed. It seems that the failure cannot be blamed on Sasaki Kojiro. Is such an opponent still a human being? Morris prayed in panic, Lord, please send down divine punishment and severely punish Zhang Chen, the evil man, to protect your children. Humph. I will never lose next time. Sergei crushed the head of a monster and roared furiously and crazily. The members of the 999th Evolution Spire went crazy after returning to their own plane. Zhang Chen once again exceeded expectations, not only theirs, but everyone's expectations. Don't say we are crazy, the regional channel is crazy. Haha, it feels so good to kill 10 powerful evolutionary towers in one go. The evolutionary towers that participated in our side instantly made up for the losses. Look at their pitiful appearance. I want to laugh. That the 10 evolutionary towers that participated in the war all got full benefits, and some rabbits immediately regretted not participating in the war, and Zhang Chen was also said to be amazing. A person rushed to the center of the island that took 10 hours to travel in half an hour, and killed the golden giant ape that required at least 100 people to besiege it by himself. Zhang Chen is comparable to 100 people. There are only monsters that Zhang Chen doesn't want to kill, and there are no monsters that he can't kill. All kinds of words praising the legend are constantly circulating in the regional channel. Arrogant, extremely arrogant. How did you lose? This is too fast. What are the conditions for victory? The foreigners all asked, but the 10 evolutionary towers that lost had no face to say it, but even if they didn't say it, we could get a rough idea from other victorious evolutionary spires. Does Zhang Chen have wings? Is he stuck in a bug? Cheating, it must be cheating. Heaven favors them. Stop talking, Adam the Father is out. Their invasion plan is over, let Adam the Father get rid of Zhang Chen. Adam, that the voices of foreigners gradually became louder. Everyone, my brother said that he will not meet Zhang Chen during the novice period, and everything will be decided after he enters the main plane. Everyone was disappointed before they finished listening. Doesn't this mean that even Adam is afraid of Zhang Chen? Please listen to me. Eve continued, we are all level 10 and will soon return to the evolution spire to complete the task of entering the main plane. That's why we don't have the chance to meet Zhang Chen. All level 10. Adam is still the strongest father. Sure enough, Adam is the best. Okay. Let's deal with Zhang Chen in the main plane. These people are really fence-sitters. The rabbits in the Chinese family can't stand it anymore. What kind of people are these? On the other hand, prompt, all members of Evolution Spire number 999 have successfully promoted to level 10. Prompt, after 30 seconds, the light column will lock and transfer back to the Evolution Spire. Hahaha, we are all level 10 too. Adam is nothing, we will kill him anyway. Go, 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 go quickly, maybe we can be the first to enter the main plane. Yes, 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 the time is almost up, let's quickly enter the light column. Everyone entered the light column. Zhang Chen also smiled and entered the light column. Everyone gained at least 2,000 experience points. If everyone could not be promoted to level 10, it would be a bit unreasonable. The next second, everyone appeared in the evolution spire. Tip. Zhang Chen completed the Tower Master task and obtained some permissions of Evolution Spire number 999. Tip, after completing the Tower Master task, you can name the evolution spire. The name of the evolution spire is unique and no longer called by a code name. Tip: after completing the naming, everyone can get 50 basic 4-dimensional attribute rewards. At this time, everyone was looking for Zhang Chen. I wonder what name Master Zhang Chen will choose. I think we should call it Bagua Tower. No, we should stick to the name Zhonghua. How about the best in the world? Yan Huang. Descendants of the dragon? Well, it's useless for you guys to discuss here. The naming right is in the hands of Master Zhang Chen. Hey, we can discuss it too. I think Master Zhang Chen probably doesn't care about naming at all. Why don't we vote? He. It seems to make sense. Zhang Chen stayed aside and looked at the excited people calmly. Although he had no interest in naming, he would not use the names that these people thought of. I originally planned to name it randomly, but it seemed that everyone was very enthusiastic, so I had to think about it a little. Infinite City. Infinite Tower. Zhang Chen looked at the evolution spire. There were infinite possibilities here. This name was very appropriate. Let's call it Infinity. Zhang Chen's mind moved, and he shouted loudly, Evolution Spire number 999 is officially renamed Infinity City. Has the Tower Master confirmed the name change to Infinity City? Yes. In the surprised eyes of everyone, Zhang Chen completed the naming of Evolution Spire number 999, no one expected that Zhang Chen would come up with such a name. Chapter 83, First Deputy City Lord. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Evolution Spire number 999 is officially renamed Infinite City, and Infinite City is the only name. Other evolution spires cannot be used. Infinite City. This name is good. Good. Infinitely powerful, it is called Infinite City. The great God is the great God, and the names he came up with are so domineering. From now on we will be called Infinite City. From now on we will be the people of Infinite City. In fact, what Zhang Chen thought was completely different from what everyone else thought. After the naming was completed, the will of heaven descended, and everyone was shrouded in a ball of light. Awesome! 50 points of basic 4 dimensions are equivalent to several levels. Fuck, this is so cool, the strength has increased dramatically. I have the confidence to challenge the third-order lower-level monster. Me too. Too strong, we must be the strongest. Comfortable, too comfortable, this is more comfortable than XX. Everyone enjoyed the reward, and Zhang Chen walked towards the center of Infinite City. Since he is the master of the tower, he knows some things that others don't know. All the vending machines around disappeared, and a disc rose in the center of the tower, with a groove in the center. Everyone looked at Zhang Chen, not knowing what he was going to do. 3-dimensional crystal diamonds could just fit into the groove. Zhang Chen took a deep breath. As long as the dimensional crystal diamonds were inserted into the groove, Infinite City would obtain the energy to tear apart space and enter the main plane. 3-dimensional crystal diamonds were placed in the groove, and a light that penetrated the entire spire lit up, and then a soft and powerful force enveloped the entire Infinite City. Everyone felt that their time and space were stilled, and even thinking stopped. The evolution spire seemed to travel through time and space, and the surroundings were colorful and beautiful. After an unknown amount of time, the evolution spire shook violently, and then slowly opened under the gaze of everyone, and a clear sky appeared in front of everyone. The dome unfolded, as if the floor was laid on the road, and everyone's houses also appeared on the floor where the evolution spire sprang out. Zhang Chen's palm had the number 3, after all the restraints were released. Everyone was stunned for a moment, and then looked at this world curiously. Tip: the range of the evolution spire can resist a large number of attacks. Non-Infinite City members cannot enter the city unless they have special approval from the City Lord. Tip: the Infinite City will be rewarded with 10 points of luck value if it reaches the main plane first. Tip: reward 100 basic materials each, open the public warehouse function, and open contribution points. Tip: contribution points can be exchanged for the highest B-level treasure chest. As the level of Infinite City increases, the treasure chests that can be obtained will also be upgraded. Tip: all materials in the public warehouse can be used to build the infrastructure of Infinite City. Tip: everyone in Infinite City can use the fast return to city function and get effective treatment in their own safe house. Tip: the fast return to city function can only be used when out of battle. Tip: technology weapons in the main plane are only effective for members of the same evolution spire, and attacking monsters in the plane reduces 70% of the damage. Tip: the main plane is vast and huge. Everything is up to you to explore. After a certain accumulation, Infinite City will once again become the evolution spire and go to a higher plane. All the tips stop here, and in front of everyone is a brand new continent, an unknown world. Zhang Chen looked at the number in his hand and basically understood the power and some information given to him by the Infinite City. The number 3 represents that everyone is now on the 3rd floor of the Infinite City, which can also be regarded as the level of the Infinite City. This should be the same for all the evolutionary spires that have settled in the main plane. The novice assessment task is the first level of the Infinite City, the second level of the broken plane, and the third level after entering the main plane. If you want to enter the next plane, you need to upgrade the Infinite City to the 4th level. The specific upgrade method is unknown. As the City Lord, he has the power to use the public warehouse to upgrade the Infinite City, and also has the power to agree to other people to enter the Infinite City. At the same time, he can obtain the experience points of others for upgrading. For every 100 points of experience points added by everyone, he will increase a point of experience points. This power is somewhat like the feeling of a landlord collecting rent. As the City Lord, he provides others with a safe residence, so they naturally need to pay tribute to him. Although it seems small, depending on the number of people, this experience is still considerable. Of course, once Zhang Chen dies, the Infinite City may face the danger of collapse. After entering the main plane, Zhang Chen's title of 100-man Slayer has begun to increase. But because other people can provide him with experience points, Zhang Chen, who originally planned to kill a group of people, gave up the idea in his heart. Everyone looked outside curiously, and some people were eager to try to walk out of the protection range of Infinite City. Zhang Chen. Wang Yu came over with Su Yingying, and the two looked at Zhang Chen as if they had something to say. "What do you want to talk to me about?" Zhang Chen smiled, while Su Yingying, who was standing next to Wang Yu, had a particularly ugly face, as if Zhang Chen owed her $1 million. "What's wrong, Miss Su? It seems that Wang Yu bullied you." Su Yingying kept silent and ignored Zhang Chen. Instead, it was Wang Yu who spoke. "Zhang Chen, we came to you to actually discuss things with you about Infinite City. Do you have any plans for the construction of Infinite City? Do you have any ideas for development?" Zhang Chen said calmly. "I don't have any ideas, and I'm too lazy to think about it. Don't forget, we came to this plane for evolution. It's not for development in this plane. If you want to develop, just go ahead and develop. None of this has anything to do with me. By the way, I have the position of Deputy City Lord. Since you want to take care of these bullshit, I'll leave it to you." Prompt: Zhang Chen appointed Wang Yu as Deputy City Lord. Everyone was shocked. Was he appointed as the Deputy City Lord? Wang Yu's life is so good. After Wang Yu was authorized by Zhang Chen, he also had the right to use the public warehouse, but he must get Zhang Chen's permission to use the public warehouse, and it can only be used to build Infinite City and cannot be misappropriated for other things. "Okay, I've given you the authority. I have only one request, and that is to upgrade Infinite City as soon as possible and then go to a higher plane." Zhang Chen left these words and left Infinite City, walking further and further away under the gaze of everyone. What's so bad about Zhang Chen? Su Yingying waited for Zhang Chen to leave before speaking. She was afraid that Zhang Chen would use all kinds of swear words when she spoke here. Wang Yu smiled and said, "Zhang Chen is quite generous. He directly gave me the position of Deputy City Lord. Now you can implement any plan you have, right?" Su Yingying nodded and said, "First tell me what authority you have, so that I can make a plan." "Our location is very good. The surrounding terrain is high and easy to defend and difficult to attack. If you want to expand Infinite City, this place is ideal. But we still need to do a precise investigation of the surrounding environment. Su Yingying began to plan, and the construction plan of Infinite City slowly unfolded under the promotion of her and Wang Yu. Chapter 84 City Lord Mission. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Prompt: The City Lord's mission has been issued. Zhang Chen had just left Infinite City not long ago, and the sudden mission also made Zhang Chen a little overwhelmed. Click on the personal taskbar, and the City Lord's mission is there. Infinite City is just a small gathering place. It takes time to gain a foothold in this land. Expel the monster forces around Infinite City and build a safe city. 1. Kill the Blood Bull, it is located 100 kilometers west of the city. 2. Solve the Black Tiger clan, they are the kings of this land, located about 150 kilometers south of Infinite City. After completing the mission, you can get a B-level treasure chest. The specific locations of the two places were not given, only the approximate locations were provided, and Zhang Chen needed to find them himself. Lord God, how many reward points are needed to exchange this plane map? The current plane is a level 3 plane, and it takes 100,000 reward points to exchange the plane map. Do you want to exchange it? Zhang Chen almost bit off his tongue when he heard the reward points. I'd better go by myself. 100,000 points, Zhang Chen can't take it out at the moment. Fortunately, both places are not far away, and Zhang Chen can reach them within 2 hours by driving a single soldier combat skateboard. I don't know where Adam and the others are. Among the currently known methods, killing awakened talents is the fastest way to obtain reward permissions, followed by the probability of dropping reward permissions from 4th level and above monsters. According to Zhang Chen's speculation, the higher the level of the monster, the greater the probability of dropping reward permissions. Killing people is not feasible without a map. Moreover, Zhang Chen currently has no ability to break through the defense of the evolution spire, so it is better to follow the task and kill more powerful monsters. After several basic attribute values and joint combat victories, Zhang Chen's current combat power has successfully reached 400 points. More than an hour later, Zhang Chen arrived at a location more than 100 kilometers to the west. There are many monsters entrenched under the ground. Zhang Chen, who is skilled and courageous, puts away his skateboard and falls into the encirclement of monsters and fights alone. Headed Guard, 3rd level upper monster. Giant Minotaur, 3rd level upper monster. The surrounding monsters are basically minotaurs, which is in line with the description of the task. About 7 or 8 minotaurs surrounded Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen did not dodge or evade. The most troublesome thing after entering the main plane was that he could not use technological weapons to deal with these monsters, which greatly restricted him, but facing the 3rd level monsters, Zhang Chen was able to handle them with ease. Even 7 or 8 minotaurs were not a big deal in Zhang Chen's eyes. Under the siege of 7 or 8 minotaurs, Zhang Chen unlocked the gene lock and kept dodging, while attacking the minotaurs with the red flame blade in his hand. A big fire gradually burned as Zhang Chen and the minotaurs fought. More and more minotaurs fell under Zhang Chen's sword. The remaining minotaurs were also panting and covered with scars. The minotaurs had poor resistance to fire, and the burning red flame blades caused great damage to them. When Zhang Chen killed the last minotaurs, the surrounding area had turned into a sea of fire. Get a D-level treasure chest. A D-level treasure chest fell from the bodies of 7 or 8 minotaurs. After putting away the treasure chest, Zhang Chen didn't even want to open it. It was a D-level, the worst treasure chest. Leaving the place where the fire was burning, Zhang Chen continued to look for the blood cow. In the distance, a village caught Zhang Chen's attention. An unexpected but not unexpected discovery. This is a huge main plane. In addition to magic beasts, it is not surprising that there are living creatures. Zhang Chen slowly approached the village. This is a very small village, and there are probably no more than 20 residents. There is a water source near the village, and there are many crops on the side. Not far from these minotaurs. How did they live together safely? Suddenly Zhang Chen turned around and pointed the tip of his sword at a child. The little boy in front of him had 2 small horns on his head, and his 2 ears were furry and erect. He looked very cute and timid. He also held some wild vegetables in his hand. Zhang Chen frowned slightly and said, "Who are you?" The child said, "I'm asking you this question." Zhang Chen put away his sword and said, "Are you a child from this village?" That the little boy nodded and said, "I've never seen you before. It's strange. You look different from us." Zhang Chen said calmly, "I'm a human being, so I'm different from you. I have no ill intentions. I just got lost here. Can you take me to see the adults in your family?" That the little boy nodded and said, "Come with me." Although he was still very scared just now, when Zhang Chen put away his sword, the little boy seemed to have recovered his nature. He jumped and jumped happily. Children of all races are almost as innocent. The little guy took Zhang Chen into the village. In fact, there was no protection outside the village. It was just a few thatched houses randomly placed together. The little boy holding wild vegetables pushed open the door and said loudly, "Grandpa, someone is looking for you. It's a strange person. He said he is a human." Zhang Chen followed the little boy speechlessly. He didn't expect him to call him that. After the little boy entered the room, an old man who was about the same age as the little boy sat on a chair. The old man had long horns on his head, and strange patterns all over his body. "Hello." Zhang Chen spoke. It was great to be able to exchange the common language from the template. Now it was completely useful. "Hello, traveler from afar." The old man spoke in a clear voice, not looking very old. "I'm lost and don't know where this is." "Where are you going?" "This is the middle of the great wilderness grassland." The old man was not on guard against Zhang Chen and answered whatever he had to say. "Old man, I want to find a monster." Zhang Chen said, "Blood Bull, have you ever heard of it?" "Blood Bull." The old man was very surprised to hear that Zhang Chen was looking for Blood Bull. He pushed the little boy aside and let him go out to play by himself, then looked at Zhang Chen and asked, "Who are you?" "I'm just a lost adventurer. I just heard that Blood Bull is very strong. If possible, killing him is my goal." Zhang Chen spoke frankly. There was no need to beat around the bush. From the tone, the old man must know something. If he didn't say it, and he used force directly, everyone in this village should know about Blood Bull. The old man was surprised but did not hide it. "I know where the Blood Bull is, but the Blood Bull never acts alone. It has many guards around it. If you want to fight it, you must lead away the guards around it, or kill them all. It's just that the Blood Bull is strong and there are many guards around it, so it's hard for you to do it." Zhang Chen's mouth curled up slightly. "Old man, this is not something you have to worry about. You just need to tell it where it is. As for whether I kill all its guards or lead away its guards, it's none of your business. From our stream all the way up, it's at the top of the water source." Chapter 85 Charming Shu Lulu. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Leaving the old man behind, Zhang Chen walked towards the water source. Tip. The second evolutionary spire has entered the main plane, and the regional channel has begun to connect. Tip. When all evolution spears enter the main plane, the assessment mode will be started. Tip. The evolutionary spire that failed the assessment will be disbanded on the spot, and there is no longer the possibility of further advancement. Tiandao prompts us to press forward step by step and slowly start the dispute on the main plane. Zhang Chen chuckled lightly. The second evolutionary spire should be Adam and the others, but he didn't know where he wasted his time. Otherwise, logically they should be the first to arrive. The first evolution spire to arrive will be rewarded with extra luck points, which is very important in a main plane. I'm afraid Adam will be furious, right? Zhang Chen continued to walk up the river, walking about 10 kilometers, and saw a lifeless pasture. There are all kinds of tauren all around the pasture, and they look very difficult to deal with. There are really a lot of tauren. I can easily deal with less than 10 tauren, but this number. These tauren are all third-level high-level monsters, but among so many tauren, Zhang Chen did not see the blood cow anywhere. Zhang Chen observed it for a while and then looked for what he wanted from the Lord God menu. Similar to the first zombie trap used. Shu Lulu's charm can form a magic circle within a certain range after use, attracting a large number of monsters into the magic circle. The monster that enters the magic circle will be stunned for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, Shu Lulu will explode, causing a small amount of damage. It can affect up to the 4th level of high-level monsters. Redeeming Shu Lulu's charm requires 1 C-level reward authority and 1000 redemption points. Do you want to redeem it? Zhang Chen got something like a clown box in his hand. As long as he placed it and opened it, he could create a magic circle to charm monsters 10 meters around. Then we have to wait until the blood cow appears. Lying on the grass, Zhang Chen's eyes penetrated the layers of cattle and found traces of the blood cow. Blood cow, as its name suggests, its whole body is as bright red as blood. The 4th level mid-level monster, Blood Ox. It has powerful fighting spirit, and the giant axe in its hand can split mountains and rocks. Innate skills, Blood Bull Rage, concentrated fighting spirit. Have D-level talent, healing. This is the first time Zhang Chen has encountered a magical beast with talent, and its strength has reached the 4th level of the median, with a combat power of more than 500 points. Is this luck or bad luck? Zhang Chen complained that almost every time he encountered a monster, he had to challenge him to a higher level. Every time he encountered a monster, he was much stronger than him. Complaints are complaints, but he forgot one thing. Originally, these monsters were not touchable at this stage, he has always been ahead of others. At this time, a normal person's approach should be to upgrade honestly. I have just entered the main plane, how can I directly challenge the boss as soon as I get up? Good guy, you have to fight a boss at the beginning, and then you complain that the difficulty is too high. Whose problem is this? Get it over with in 10 minutes. Zhang Chen made a few loud noises at random and whistled provocatively. All the Tauren's eyes were attracted by Zhang Chen. The giant axe in Xuan You's hand was pointed at Zhang Chen, and then all the Tauren around him came towards Zhang Chen. The charge formed by the Tauren made the earth tremble. But Zhang Chen smiled and ran away. Everything went as Zhang Chen expected, and the bull-headed guards chased after him. After running about 100 meters, the bull-headed guards stopped chasing. Zhang Chen also saw the right moment and threw the Shu Lulu magic box in his hand. A clown exploded out of the box, and then the clown swayed and danced in the wind. A magic circle with a radius of 10 meters spread out, and all the minotaurs huddled together, desperately trying to get Shu Lulu in the center of the magic circle. But Shu Lulu, who was swinging in the wind, suddenly trembled, and all the Tauren in the magic circle fell into a state of dizziness. It's okay to kill these Tauren later. Zhang Chen hurried back. He only had 10 minutes and couldn't waste it. Here we come, brother. Zhang Chen returned to Xuanyo with a smile. Xuanyo stared at Zhang Chen with his eyes wide open in surprise. Could it be that all the bull-headed guards he sent out were killed in such a short period of time? Facing Zhang Chen's blood cow, he hesitated for a moment, as if he was afraid of Zhang Chen. Hesitation leads to defeat. Zhang Chen unlocked the gene lock and adjusted his state to the best. Facing the 4th level mid-range monster, he couldn't help but be nervous, and he had to concentrate highly. Facing Zhang Chen's sudden attack, Xuanyo waved the giant axe in his hand to resist Zhang Chen. After unlocking the 1st level of the gene lock, Zhang Chen could clearly see the movements of the blood cow, and was even able to react and act before it. The skin is so thick, that the blood cow's defense is not as good as the golden giant ape, but the blood cow's blood volume is its advantage. If the golden giant ape has 1 tube of blood, it must have at least 10 tubes of blood. Zhang Chen's attacks were like scraping. During the battle, Xuanyo's body emitted a bright green light, and the wounds he had just cut healed quickly. At this time, Zhang Chen also realized what D-level talent healing was. The scrapes I gave it didn't heal as fast as his health. I want to see who consumes more energy. That the blood bull saw that Zhang Chen's attack was not painful, and it seemed that he was not as strong as he had imagined. At this time, he exuded a surging fighting spirit and began to fight back. Fighting spirit concentrated. The red flame blade collided with the giant axe, and Zhang Chen took a half step back. In terms of strength, he was not much worse than the blood bull. Blood bull is furious. Seeing that Zhang Chen actually blocked his full strength attack, the blood bull immediately activated his second skill. His eyes were red, and his muscles became tighter. The blood bull was faster, but it seemed that he could not control the axe in his hand. This form is actually dragging you down. That if you can't control your weapon accurately, it doesn't make any sense to be strong or fast. with the Blood Bull's 2 skills fully activated, Zhang Chen felt that the battle was easier, and even the damage he caused to the Blood Bull was higher. When the muscles are pumping blood, they become more fragile. The crazy Blood Bull was panting under Zhang Chen's consumption, while Zhang Chen was calm and didn't exert much effort at all. So far, he has only taken one move from the Blood Bull. Zhang Chen himself didn't expect it to be so easy. I seem to have forgotten something. Zhang Chen was thinking while scraping, what exactly was it, and it seemed to be very important. Ah! That group of Minotaur guards. Zhang Chen was shocked. Now was not the time to scrape. There were still a bunch of Minotaur guards behind him that he hadn't dealt with. When they came, it would be troublesome for him to be attacked from both sides. Red Lotus. Zhang Chen complained that if it weren't for the blockade of technological weapons, he wouldn't have to fight so hard. The moment Zhang Chen exploded, the situation began to tilt towards him. The Blood Bull accumulated more and more injuries, and it was almost impossible to support its body to stand. Chapter 86 Accident. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhang Chen increased his strength and continued to attack. The Blood Bull knelt on the ground in pain. The pain and repeated bleeding made it unable to continue fighting. It was like a yellow cow waiting to be slaughtered, without the ability to resist. The red flame blade pierced its heart, and the Blood Bull's body burned from the heart, and the fragrance was overflowing. Congratulations on getting 2,000 experience points. Congratulations on getting 50 contribution points. Congratulations on getting a B-level treasure chest. Get 1,000 bonus points. Get a D-level reward authority. After killing the Blood Bull, Zhang Chen got a big harvest, almost all the rewards that can be obtained. Open the B-level treasure chest. Get the Blood Bull battle axe, get steel plus 10, iron plus 10, fire element stone plus 10. Zhang Chen put the Blood Bull battle axe into the public warehouse and set it to be redeemable for 20 contribution points. As the city lord, he can use the resources in the public warehouse at will, and can also set the exchange of resources in the public warehouse. The Blood Bull battle axe is a rare upper-level weapon, and most people's weapons are definitely not as good as it. Only a few people can get rare weapons, let alone rare upper-level ones. Fuck, 30 contribution points can be exchanged for the Blood Bull battle axe. Boss Zhang Chen, this is a rare upper-level weapon. Where did it come from? Some bored people paid attention to the public warehouse, but basically no one gave materials. But Zhang Chen now hung a rare upper-level axe, and everyone's eyes were red. How to get contribution points? I want that axe. Fuck, my last name is Cheng, and my ancestors used axes, so it's just right for me. When everyone asked in the chat channel how to get contribution points, Wang Yu spoke up. You can get contribution points by donating items to the warehouse, and you can also get contribution points by completing tasks that are beneficial to the development of Infinite City. Donating ordinary materials to the warehouse is basically a ratio of 10 to 1, and high-level materials are 1 to 1. With Wang Yu's explanation, everyone was much clearer. The simplest way is to donate materials. 10 pieces of wood can be exchanged for a contribution point, 10 pieces of iron, 10 pieces of steel can be exchanged for a contribution point. Everyone began to throw the materials they didn't need into the public warehouse to get contribution points. However, everyone didn't have much materials, so it was difficult to increase the contribution points. I've rested enough, let's go and kill monsters. Yes, get more materials and get the axe earlier. This axe must be mine. Zhang Chen smiled slightly, as if everyone's emotions were mobilized because of an axe. It seems that they still need to be rewarded more so that their subjective initiative will be stronger. It's not just one person's business to upgrade Infinite City earlier. There are still 500 people left who have not been eliminated, and they have to be used, but I must be at the forefront and become the strongest in this main plane and even countless planes in the future. If you want to exchange for a B-level treasure chest, you can't exchange it without 100 contribution points. After Infinite City entered this plane, it only provided 10 B-level treasure chests for exchange. In other words, only the top 10 who first obtained 100 contribution points can exchange for B-level treasure chests. Besides, it was unknown what would come out, so it would be more cost-effective to exchange it for Zhang Chen's stuff directly. Zhang Chen was the only one who could trade a rare level upper-level axe at such a low price. no one else could do it, and no one had the courage to do it. Bang! A faint explosion sounded in the distance, and Lulu had self-destructed, but the timing was just right for Zhang Chen. Kill all these bull-headed guards and go check on the Black Tiger clan. Zhang Chen waited there for a long time, but the bull-headed guards did not come in this direction. What's going on? Zhang Chen went down the river and saw a scene that made him frown slightly. The bull-headed guards were slaughtering the village he saw. Damn it! Zhang Chen turned into a gust of wind and ran over after using Qinggong, the red flame blade ignited flames, constantly harvesting the lives of the bull-headed guards. There were not many villagers in the village, and even fewer people survived the attack by the bull-headed guards. Zhang Chen had not expected such a thing to happen, although these bull-headed guards were not ordered by him. They were more or less related to him. I am afraid that they started to go crazy because they were no longer restrained by the Blood Bull after the Blood Bull died. When the last bull-headed guard died under his sword, only children and old men were left in the whole village. Zhang Chen frowned slightly and could not bear to look at the two of them. The old man looked at Zhang Chen with a complicated expression. The child regarded Zhang Chen as a great hero. Old man, after I kill the Blood Bull, these bull-headed guards will go berserk by themselves, right? The old man nodded and said, yes, they will go berserk. In that case, I don't need to explain anything more. Zhang Chen sighed and said, I have another thing to ask you. The old man looked at the destroyed home bitterly, wondering if Zhang Chen had anything else to ask. Have you heard of the Black Tiger clan? The old man shook his head and said, I don't know the Black Tiger clan. We have lived here for a long time and only move around 10 kilometers. Zhang Chen nodded. What else do you need? Nothing. Then I'll leave. Looking at Zhang Chen's back as he left, the old man wanted to say something several times, but never said it. Of course he hated Zhang Chen in his heart. If there was no Zhang Chen, this place would still be peaceful. Now, how he and his grandson should continue to live here has become a problem again. This incident was just a trivial episode for Zhang Chen and could not affect his mind. As early as the beginning, Zhang Chen knew that this road was difficult. No matter who it was, he would walk over the white bones. If you want to become stronger and want to continue to evolve, you must be ruthless and must do whatever it takes at all costs. What's more, subjectively speaking, this matter is not your fault. Everything is just an accident, a coincidence. Walking on the road, there are some unknown monsters around, and Zhang Chen also killed them casually to accumulate his reward points. Most of the monsters in the wild are still around the 3rd level. It has not exceeded the strength of ordinary people. After killing the monster in front of him, Zhang Chen thought about returning to the city, and then a beam of light appeared in front of him. Walking into the light column was like a portal that directly teleported Zhang Chen back to his safe house. With such a convenient way, there is no need to waste the power of the single-soldier combat skateboard. Coming out of the house, the infinite city was empty. Everyone went out to find monsters, upgrade and find treasures. This is also one of the benefits of them entering the main plane first. While occupying a favorable terrain, you can obtain all the resources around you without anyone disturbing you. Those who enter slowly can only drink the soup left by those who enter first. Now the infinite city is equivalent to the coordinate lighthouse for everyone, and everyone can be teleported back at any time without worrying about getting lost. As long as you don't die, feel free to explore everything around you. Chapter 87 Tomb. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Coming out of the city, heading east, there were corpses of monsters in many places outside the city, and everyone expanded outward in a fan shape from outside the city. There were corpses of monsters along the way. The speed of a group of people opening up the wasteland was quite fast. However, when Zhang Chen started to speed up, he clearly felt that there were fewer people in his position. Oh, it turns out that the monsters are stronger. A 3rd level upper level monster Black Dead Pig attacked Zhang Chen and was easily killed by Zhang Chen. After walking about 30 kilometers, almost all the monsters around reached the 3rd level upper level. I'm afraid that other members have also discovered this problem, so they don't want to fight hard and choose other directions, but according to Zhang Chen's experience, there should be no difference around. Maybe within a radius of more than 30 kilometers, the monsters must reach the 3rd level upper level. In a single fight, I'm afraid only the top 5 people in experience can kill the 3rd level upper level, and the others must join forces. Killing the surrounding monsters also brought Zhang Chen a lot of experience points, and there was also a little experience points contributed by everyone killing the monsters. This made Zhang Chen's experience value continue to grow, and he was about to break through and be promoted to level 12. Almost 100 kilometers. Walking from dawn to dusk, Zhang Chen stopped to rest. Everyone in the chat channel was also sharing what they saw and interesting things today. Although it is convenient to teleport directly back to the city, you have to start all over again. It would be great if there was a teleport that could locate the coordinates. You are right, so let's open a portal, return to the city to rest at night, and return to the investigated location through the portal during the day. Not only does it save time, it is also very safe. Well, it is indeed a bit dangerous to spend the night in the wild. You are dreaming. It is good to have a teleport back to the city, and you want to teleport in both directions? Although you are ugly, you think it's beautiful. Hey, don't tell me, I received a personal task today, and there is really a teleportation scroll. Zhang Chen looked at it, and what these people said was more or less of reference value. All the buffs on my body have been eliminated now, and my own luck value is much higher than this group of people, so I should be lucky. Zhang Chen. Wang Yu's private message came. Zhang Chen, we have more or less figured out the upgrade of Infinite City. Oh, Zhang Chen became interested. This is one of the things he cares about most. Wang Yu said, if you want to upgrade Infinite City, you must obtain a lot of materials and defeat some terrible existences. This is not a task, but something Ying and I found in an ancient book. But I guess you will receive a task in the future, or it will be issued directly in the form of a group task. Zhang Chen said, what else is mentioned in the ruins? That the communication was suddenly interrupted, and Zhang Chen frowned, wondering if there was any danger on Wang Yu's side. It turns out that you, a woman, are behind it again. Zhang Chen was speechless, and Su Ying sent a private message. If you want to know, bring something in exchange. Intelligence is the most valuable wealth. This is what Su Ying said, which made Zhang Chen laugh and cry. It seems that being hated by a woman is indeed a trouble. This woman is indeed a trouble. In fact, the communication between Zhang Chen and Wang Yu is still very good. First, Wang Yu is an indispensable chess piece for him. Second, Wang Yu is a very good person, he knows the limits very well, has never caused any trouble to himself, and has a lot of constraints on Su Ying. Because he does not intend to manage Endless City, the current Deputy City Lord Wang Yu is also particularly important. Zhang Chen ignored Su Ying, and he would always know the information he wanted to know. This matter is also a good thing for Endless City, they can't hide it. When necessary, it is Wang Yu and the others who will contact him first. Zhang Chen is not in a hurry, and he started to rest after dinner. It was dark, and Zhang Chen arranged the exchanged alarm system around him. And fell asleep peacefully. With the alarm system exchanged by the Lord God, no disturbance can escape, so Zhang Chen can easily fall asleep peacefully. Unlike other people, most people dare not act alone, and there must be someone on guard when sleeping, otherwise, they may be torn into pieces by the monsters that jump out at any time. Zhang Chen slept well that night and was not disturbed at all. It is not known whether the alarm system exchanged by the Lord God was meritorious, or the breath emitted by Zhang Chen himself made the surrounding monsters retreat. The next day, everything was fine. Zhang Chen got up, washed up, ate some food and continued to move. Some monsters that had been killed 5 times no longer wasted time, and directly used Qingdong to leave them, and all the monsters that had not been killed were killed. After 2 days of walking, Zhang Chen basically confirmed one thing, that is, the highest level of the current Infinite City is the 3rd level upper monster. And only the boss will exceed the 3rd level and reach the 4th level, at least it is relatively safe within a radius of 200 kilometers. Zhang Chen drove a single soldier combat skateboard and planned to go directly to the Black Tiger clan, but found a ruin below. There were ruins everywhere and some magical beasts lurking below, but it is obvious that this place should be able to get something. After putting away the skateboard, Zhang Chen slowly landed, and the monsters around the ruins slowly surrounded him. According to the analysis of the Lord God, although these monsters are strange in shape, they are only at the 3rd level at most, and there are even 3rd level monsters at the lower level. They will not pose any threat to Zhang Chen at all. A fierce flame burned on the sword of the red flame blade, And Zhang Chen slaughtered a group of monsters wantonly. These monsters could not resist Zhang Chen, who was like a god of war, and died under the sword one after another. More than a dozen monsters that surrounded him all died in Zhang Chen's hands, and the ruins became much quieter. Zhang Chen walked towards the inside of the ruins, and there was another entrance below the entrance. It was like a tomb, and the entire ruins were below the main body. Lighting a torch, Zhang Chen entered from the entrance of the tomb. The tomb was very dry, and the environment was not as bad as Zhang Chen imagined. Going down the spiral staircase, a huge room soon appeared in front of Zhang Chen. There seemed to be nothing in the room, but the door to the next room was a long way away. There was ordinary sand all around, and no mechanism could be seen. Although nothing could be seen, Zhang Chen understood that this kind of layout often had more mechanisms, so he did not easily step into the room, but stood at the edge of the door and watched the layout of the room. The layout of the room was very simple, with a few clay pots, some ordinary stone carvings, and no other decorations, but just these clay pots and stone carvings made Zhang Chen feel uneasy. It was as if this room was hiding some huge threat that Zhang Chen dared not easily set foot in. This was the sixth sense of a human being who had unlocked the gene lock. Penguin, 9.6.1.7.1.5.6.2.1. Welcome to join the group discussion. Chapter 88, Disi's Cursu 0026 NBSP. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is it an agency or a monster? Throwing a stone and hitting the earthen jar, there was only a clang sound and the earthen jar shattered. Nothing happened. Zhang Chen hesitated for a moment, then ran in using Qigong. As long as you're fast enough, you can just pass this room. Zhang Chen turned into a breeze and fled the room very quickly. The huge dangers along the way lingered in Zhang Chen's mind. Something's coming. The sand beneath his feet shook, as if something was about to break out of the ground. Zhang Chen ran as fast as he could, and the air around him became extremely sticky. Zhang Chen used his strength to jump up and fly into the air. At the same time, a huge mouth under his feet kicked up countless sand and soil, almost covering the entire room. Like a whale jumping out of the sea, its huge mouth is full of terrifying fangs. At this time, Zhang Chen is crossing this huge mouth like a hurdle. Dang! Zhang Chen stood at the edge of the door. If he hadn't jumped up just now, or if he had been any slower, he would have been swallowed by this huge mouth. Fortunately, the mouth could not move, and there was no thought of a second attack. The huge mouth was not concentrated in one blow and slowly sank into the ground with the quicksand. The surrounding sand slowly stabilized and returned to its previous calm state. After wiping away a sweat, Zhang Chen felt extremely thrilling and had no idea whether it was a magical beast or a mechanism. After entering the next room, Zhang Chen no longer felt oppressive. At the same time, there are many things on display in this room. Advanced armor. Elemental stone. After touching these items that had been covered with dust for a long time, Zhang Chen realized that his luck had come. This is obviously a burial chamber. 120 high-level armors and 20 rare low-level weapons. A total of 80 element stones of various attributes. Although Zhang Chen doesn't like these weapons and equipment, they can very well inspire others to contribute to Infinite City. Elemental stones may be similar to universal currency, so they are also very valuable. Zhang Chen smiled and put everything into his pocket. Equipment is put on the shelves through public warehouses. An ordinary high-level armor requires 10 contribution points, rare low-level weapons require 15 contribution points. After Zhang Chen put these weapons and equipment in the public warehouse, he also received a total of 140 contribution points as a reward. After things are put into the public warehouse, everyone's eyes are straight. Fuck. Master Zhang Chen robbed some weapons arsenal. So many advanced armors. Only 10 contribution points. I sold everything, enough to make up 10 contribution points. I need to get a high-level armor to wear it first. The materials are all external things. I feel honored to be able to contribute to Infinite City. Everyone said something to each other, and many people have already redeemed the high-level armor. Zhang Chen was not in a hurry to exchange the contribution points for the treasure chest. Maybe the contribution points could be used for other purposes. Everything is in the development stage now, so keep these points as long as you can. After emptying out the contents of the funerary room, Zhang Chen walked towards the main tomb chamber. There are only 3 rooms in the tomb, and there are not many roads, rooms and mechanisms deliberately planned. The rectangular coffin in the main tomb is placed in the center of the room. There are 2 lifelike stone sculptures of soldiers on both sides of the coffin, holding the red flame blade. Zhang Chen guessed that the 2 stone sculptures of soldiers in front of him should be the last means of defense for the owner of the tomb. But from the contents of the funerary room, it seems that the status of the owner of the tomb during his lifetime was quite average, not particularly powerful. Therefore, the strength of the 2 stone sculpture soldiers in front of them should not be too difficult. Zhang Chen took a step forward, and the 2 stone soldiers suddenly opened their eyes, and a machine-like sound came from their moving joints. The flame struck first and hit the bodies of the 2 stone soldiers. It's a dead thing, that these 2 soldiers should be like puppets. Their bodies are very cold and hard, and they are not afraid of fire attacks. I don't know what material they are made of. After unlocking the genetic lock, Zhang Chen exerted his power to the limit. The red flame blade left deep cuts on the bodies of the 2 stone soldiers, revealing the exquisite mechanical gears inside. The strength of these 2 soldiers is between the upper level of the 3rd level and the lower level of the 4th level. They are really good. It would be great if we could get them back. Zhang Chen scratched his head and had thoughts about the 2 puppet soldiers. It's a pity that the 2 puppet soldiers fought frantically until they died, and there was no possibility of being captured alive. After several attempts, Zhang Chen could only tearfully smash the 2 puppet soldiers until they were unable to move. Looking at the broken parts lying on the ground, Zhang Chen's eyes were filled with regret. When he came to the coffin, Zhang Chen smiled and wondered whether his nature was tomb robbing. Maybe the tomb owner will turn into a zombie and crawl out of the coffin later. Opening the coffin, the tomb owner in the coffin had already turned into a withered skeleton. He held a key in his hand and a book beside him. Zhang Chen took a look and said, "It seems that you really love learning, and you will still hold a book until you die." Zhang Chen took the book down with a gentle touch of his hand. The Black Continent. After learning a common language, Zhang Chen can also understand the content and text in books. So this plane is called the Black Continent. This is his diary. Zhang Chen flipped through page after page and got a general understanding of the entire plane. However, the tomb owner has been dead for a long time, and his diary can only be used as a reference and cannot be fully trusted. The place where Infinite City is located is called the Black Death Land, which is uniformly managed by the Black Death Empire. The Black Death Land is vast, occupying an area of 1 million square kilometers, but the capital of the Black Death Empire is very far away. There is a subordinate city of the Black Death Empire about 1,000 kilometers away from the tomb, named Beichuan City. The owner of the diary was once a mid-level official in Beichuan City, but was exiled here because he angered the city lord. You are also an old unlucky guy. Zhang Chen smiled, and his other hand grabbed the key in the old unlucky guy's hand. Hint, get personal task, revenge. Zhang Chen was slightly stunned. He didn't expect that this key was actually a hidden task. Whoever takes the key must help me complete my revenge on Xia Heiyuan, the lord of Beichuan City. This key is the key to a vault in Beichuan City, which contains my life's wealth. Tip: complete the revenge mission of killing Xia Heiyuan within 1 year, otherwise you will be cursed by Dixie. Dixie's curse will reduce the basic 4 dimensions by 50 points and personal luck by 5 points. Please be sure to complete the revenge mission. Zhang Chen suddenly felt a sense of disgust as if he was threatened. Do a mission, and you will be cursed if you fail. This man named Dixie is not only an old unlucky guy, but also a disgusting unlucky guy. It's not without reason that he was exiled. Zhang Chen thinks he deserves to be exiled. Just for this move he is very unpleasant. But the mission cannot be refused, and there is also a reward for getting the key. As long as the mission is completed, it's fine. Chapter 89 Insider. You are listening at novelfull.audio. He casually threw the key into the main god space and kicked Dixie's coffin to pieces. If Dixie knew this, the coffin lid would not be able to hold him down. What is this? Zhang Chen saw a small secret passage on the side. Originally, in the tombs in China, there was a saying that the people who built the tombs must also be buried with the dead, so these tomb builders usually left a secret passage for themselves to escape. Zhang Chen guessed that this was the secret passage for escape. Leaving here is definitely better than passing through the room with the huge mouth of the abyss buried underground again. Zhang Chen did not hesitate and walked along the secret passage with his body low. Dixi's mission can last for a year, so there is no need to rush. At this time, not only is he weak, but Infinite City is also weak. If exposed to the environment of the plane, it is very likely to suffer an unexpected disaster. It is best to wait until he is strong enough to contact the indigenous forces of this world. Walking along the secret passage, Zhang Chen finally came to a forest. According to the direction of the secret passage, it is also heading east, which coincides with where I am going. The sun in the sky is blocked by the shade of the trees, and the temperature in the woods is very comfortable. Is there someone here? After walking in the woods for a while, Zhang Chen found a wooden house. Zhang Chen frowned slightly. Those who can survive alone in the deep mountains and old forests are definitely not ordinary people. He encountered several attacks by magic beasts along the way, all of which were at the level of third-level upper magic beasts. Zhang Chen walked slowly towards the wooden house, listened to the noise, and pushed open the door of the wooden house after confirming that there was no one around. The furnishings in the wooden house are simple, with a bed, a table, and a stool. Everything was cleaned up very cleanly. Obviously, someone was still using this wooden house, but the owner was not at home for the time being. It's a pity that there is nothing good. Zhang Chen left the wooden house and wanted to find the owner of the wooden house. Before he walked too far, a burst of fighting sounds attracted him. The attribute of joining in the fun was turned on. Zhang Chen climbed up the tree, and came to the scene with a few jumps. Below is a third-level upper-level magic beast, the Iron Mantis. The body of the Iron Mantis is blood red, its 2 arms are like iron pincers, its 2 feet move, its back has wings, and it stands 2 meters tall. The one fighting with him is an old man, who looks like a human, but has patterns all over his body. This old man is pretty good. The old man held 2 swords and kept hitting the 2 iron pincers of the Iron Mantis. Seeing that the stalemate was not over, the Iron Mantis spread its wings and left the old man's sight. The old man also put down his sword panting, and it seemed that his physical strength would not allow him to continue fighting. After confirming the opponent's strength, Zhang Chen smiled and jumped down from the tree branch. Perhaps this is a good opportunity to communicate, and perhaps the small house in front is the residence of this old man. Hi. Zhang Chen's appearance immediately attracted the old man's attention. The patterns on the old man's body were emitting light, giving birth to huge power. Is this fighting spirit? Zhang Chen asked with a smile. Who are you? The old man did not let down his guard. He suspected that this man had been watching him for a long time, and he must have bad intentions when he appeared now. Don't be like this. Zhang Chen smiled and said, I have no ill intentions. I just want to talk to you. A bottle of Coke appeared in Zhang Chen's hand like magic, and then Zhang Chen threw the bottle of Coke to the old man. The old man caught the Coke and looked at the black water with bubbles in confusion. Open it, drink it, and be happy all day long. Zhang Chen smiled and said, try it. Don't worry, it's not poisonous. Zhang Chen was afraid that the old man would not drink it, so he opened a bottle and drank it. The old man then said, what's your name? Me. My name is Zhang Chen, an adventurer. Sure. The old man followed suit and unscrewed the bottle cap. The battle with the Iron Claw Mantis had already made him dry-mouthed. Sure couldn't wait to drink the Coke. The indescribable feeling made him fall in love with this taste in an instant. He had never drunk this kind of thing in his life. This was great. It was just like Zhang Chen said, 1 sip and you'll be happy all day. Sure drank Coke in big gulps and then burped comfortably. He covered his mouth very embarrassedly. This was too out of control. Sure, what do you think? Am I right? Zhang Chen smiled and said, are you willing to talk to me now? Let's go, my home is nearby. Sure glanced at Zhang Chen. It seemed that he also wanted to find someone to talk to. Back in front of the wooden house, Sure didn't let Zhang Chen in, just sat on the ground. It seems you've been here. Sure touched something casually. Zhang Chen didn't expect there was a mechanism here. Huh, yes. I even entered your house. Sure I guess you are one of the people who built the tomb for Dixie. Zhang Chen squinted at Sure slightly. Sure stared at Zhang Chen in shock and asked, how did you know? I came out of the secret passage in the tomb. You stayed here alone and you are so old, so I made this guess. Now it seems that I was right. Then Zhang Chen smiled maliciously. Shirte, does this Dixie have a treasure in your hand? Shirte stared at Zhang Chen with his eyes, and the patterns on his body flickered. This was the first time he had met such a shrewd person. Yes, there are. So you want to get these treasures? Zhang Chen waved his hand and said, I'm just asking casually. If you are willing to give them to me, that would be great. The main purpose is to ask about Beichuan City and Xia Heiyuan. Because I took Dixie's things, I was cursed by him. I must help him kill Xia Heiyuan, otherwise I will be in big trouble. Shirte nodded. With Dixie's temperament, he would do this. Beichuan City is about 1,000 kilometers away from here. It is a very majestic city. Xia Heiyuan is the strongest man in Beichuan City. His strength is at least 1 star, and the Beichuan guards under him cannot be underestimated. There are a total of 3,000 people, all of them are good players. But you can see that I haven't been to Beichuan City for a long time. Zhang Chen was very curious and said, Dixie's body has turned into bones, and you are still alive. How old are you? At this time, Zhang Chen was particularly entangled with this question. Shirte was obviously from the same era as Dixie, but it looks like a human being in his 60s. Me? I'm over 400 years old. 400 years old. Zhang Chen was surprised. Although he had expected that Shirte in front of him might be very old, he didn't expect him to be over 400 years old. Is it rare? Shirte frowned and said, ordinary people live for 300 years, ordinary warriors live for 500 years, and star-level warriors live for 1,000 years. Star-level warriors. Zhang Chen frowned slightly, not quite understanding this concept. After all, the way of heaven only divides combat power. What level are you at? Me. An ordinary warrior. Shirte sighed, how can craftsmen like us be so noble? Penguin, 9.6.1.7.1.5.6.2.1. Welcome to join the group discussion. Chapter 90 Ranking List Reset. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shirte thought for a while and said, but I am considered the best, and my strength level should be half a star. There is a world of difference between half a star and 1 star. Half a star. Zhang Chen frowned slightly. According to his own understanding, Shirte's combat power was only about 300 points, speaking of which, a 1-star expert is probably around 600. His combat power has reached 500 points, so it is not difficult to kill Xia Heiyuan. Can I fight you and see? Zhang Chen stood up. Although it seemed that Shirte's combat power was only 300 points, he didn't know the specific situation without taking action. Can. Shirte walked to the side and pulled down 2 branches, and then said, what do you use? I don't use anything. I use only ordinary weapons. Zhang Chen smiled and put on his posture. Okay, let's begin. Shirte thought that Zhang Chen might look down on himself because he didn't use weapons, and he was slightly angry. When the 2 swords are swung, they are invulnerable to water and fire. Pressing forward step by step, after Zhang Chen unlocked the genetic lock, combat consciousness poured into his mind. It's too fast. It's also very powerful. Can't force it. Zhang Chen frowned. Shirte was much stronger than he appeared. Shirte, use all your strength. Zhang Chen roared. His true energy was circulating in his body, and he was already going all out. The patterns on Shirte's body flashed, and the red fighting spirit burned fiercely. The 2 sides were fighting. Zhang Chen's body was glowing with gold, and Shirte's body was a fiery red. The 2 people are like 2 light groups, constantly colliding. My combat effectiveness should be at its peak at this time. But why can't you defeat him? Is the combat effectiveness estimate biased? I only have half a star of combat power at this time. Stop it. Zhang Chen retreated fiercely and exited from the gene lock state. The side effects of the gene lock on the body are already very small, just a slight tremor. If they continue to fight, it will not be a competition. The gap between the two is not big, and they cannot control their strength if they continue to fight. That is a life and death battle. Shirte also exhaled a breath of turbid air and stopped, and the two branches in his hands broke and exploded instantly. If he hadn't been maintaining it with fighting spirit, the branch would have been overwhelmed and destroyed long ago. Shirte also understood what Zhang Chen meant by stopping, and just looked at Zhang Chen quietly. Zhang Chen said, "I watched your battle with Iron Pincer Mantis, and it was completely different from what you are showing now." Shirte smiled and said, "I only need to force it away, no need to kill it. The monsters in this forest are very vengeful. If I want to live here, I have to learn to coexist with them." Zhang Chen nodded. He was still too weak. From this point of view, one star must have at least 1,000 points of combat power. "Shirte, there is one more thing I want to ask you. Do you know the Black Tiger clan?" "No." Shirte said, "The Black Tiger clan is also one of the most powerful races around. They have intelligence and are different from ordinary monsters. They know how to cooperate, dominate the mountain and control the monsters to make themselves stronger. Do you want to cause trouble for the Black Tiger clan?" "Listening to what you said, it's really troublesome." Zhang Chen frowned. He originally thought that the Black Tiger clan was similar to the Blood Cows, but now it seems that they are far different. Shirte said, "Although your strength is very good, you have no chance of winning against the Black Tiger clan." Shirte gave advice, "Can you at least upgrade it to 1 star? There are many powerful monsters in this forest. You can try to kill them. If you are tired, you can come to my place to rest." After Shirte opened the door, it was almost time and he wanted to prepare his lunch. Zhang Chen took a look and then walked towards the forest. It used to be smooth sailing here, but now it looks like it will take some effort to solve the problem at hand. Level 4 monsters have a probability of receiving reward permissions. It seems they will stay here for a while. Zhang Chen began to practice in the forest with great concentration, looking for powerful monsters to fight. The 4th level low-level monsters are just right for Zhang Chen. It will be very difficult to fight after the 4th level low-level monsters. There are many 4th level low-level monsters in the forest. Zhang Chen plunged into the forest and didn't show up for several days, as if he had disappeared from the world. On the 5th day, Zhang Chen was promoted to level 12, with a combat power of over 500. Tip: the 10th evolutionary spire has entered the main plane, and the rankings of each evolutionary spire have begun to be merged. Tip: the rankings are based on combat power and are no longer measured by experience points. Tip: the combat power list is the same as the combat power rating of this plane. From now on, the combat power will be expressed by stars. Tip: the combat power ranking is updated every week, and the evolutionary spire that ranks first will receive a B-level basic resource treasure chest for building its own evolutionary spire. Tip: the top 10 evolutionary spires can all receive heavenly blessings, but the rankings of heavenly blessings are also different depending on their ranking. Tip: the blessing of heaven only lasts for 1 day. The first blessing of heaven will be officially distributed at 0 o'clock tomorrow. The ranking is as follows: number 1 in Infinite City, number 1 in the Kingdom of God, Satan's City is 2nd, City of Priests 3rd, the 4th in the Imperial Kingdom. Atlantis is 5th. Everyone's combat power system was updated, and as a result, no one reached the star level combat power. At the same time, it has 2 first places on the ranking list, one is Zhang Chen, and the other is Adam. Although there are only 10 evolutionary spires entering the plane now, Adam and Zhang Chen are already recognized as the first, and whether it is the Infinite City or Adam's evolutionary spires, they entered much earlier than other evolutionary spires, and the lead is unquestionable. The benefits of entering first were immediately revealed. Fuck, Zhang Chen is tied for first place with Adam's grandfather. Was sure, these two people are really tied for first place. Who is stronger? Brothers, upgrade quickly. Although we entered the main plane first, there will be more evolutionary spires coming in next. Yes, we must keep the top 10 positions. We have no chance to be the first. Zhang Chen, you are really strong. Adam has never said a word since the regional channel was opened. Seeing the ranking today, he rarely spoke. But next week, you will fall behind me. Don't worry. I will find your evolution spire soon. I will destroy it. Adam has named him, so it would be inappropriate for Zhang Chen not to speak. Zhang Chen said, Adam, don't be too confident. Look at the crappy name you gave yourself. Do you really think you are the father of all white people in the world? The next ranking will definitely be my infinite city. As for you, go wherever you want. Zhang Chen's speech was extremely domineering. Even though only one of the 10 cities belonged to the flower growers, Zhang Chen still dared to challenge all the foreigners. Too arrogant. Damn Zhang Chen, you are too arrogant. We must make you pay the price. Wait for our coalition's iron hoof to crush your infinite city. Come on, those who are not afraid of death, come and try it. I will make Infinite City an indelible nightmare in your hearts. Penguin, 9.6.1.7.1.5.6.2.1. Welcome to join the group discussion.